Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing better than I am. So, I've been having a rough week, and something else happened that I'm learning to laugh about because it was kind of funny. But I'm also hoping maybe this happened to somebody else, and maybe they can give me some advice on what to expect. But yeah, so I'll tell you what happened to me. Was if you follow me on Instagram, then you know about this. I have the claw. So what happened was this happened what? Yeah, this happened on Wednesday, I want to say. Yeah, it did happen on Wednesday. And I can't even tell you how bad the pain was. I thought I was going to pass out and die. So, um I was getting out of my Uber and I was at work on the property. So I get on my phone and I want to tip my Uber right away, immediately on the app, so that once I get into my building at my job, I can have my phone turned off. And that way, I'll save my battery. So I ended up tripping over a curb. And the last thing I remember is I just went flying. And it was weird because when I fell, my knees were hurting because they were all scraped up, but my pinky was hurting more than my knees. And I thought to myself, that's really weird because you would think that, I scraped up my knees and they would be hurting more. So of course, people, they go and help me up because they're nice. And I go in my job and I just tell them everything is fine because I felt embarrassed. I did something stupid and I felt embarrassed. But yeah, I went to the bathroom, and that was when I noticed that I could not bend my pinky, and the bottom of my pinky was like swelling, and it kind of had bruising. So I got really scared, and also I was in pain. I can't even describe what I felt. But my boss wanted to know how I was feeling, and I said, "Does my pinky look weird to you? Because I can't bend it." And she goes, well, she was really worried. So she took me in the office, and then they said, "You're going to have to go to the hospital." And that's when I started crying. I was crying like anything because I didn't want to go. So they took me to the doctors because they wanted to pay for it since it happened on their property. Even though it was my fault, they were nice enough to pay for it. So once they dropped me off, they did the paperwork and everything. So, and I did all that paperwork. And then what happened was the doctor told me that it's not workers' comp and they can't take me. So I have to go somewhere else. So at this point, I was crying and miserable because I was in a lot of pain. I ended up having to take an Uber over to patient first. And I explained to them what happened, that it's not going to be under workers' comp and I'm going to have to set up a payment plan. So they took an x-ray and told me that my hand was fractured. Or no, I had a fracture in my hand or something like that. And my finger was dislocated. And they said the worst possible thing to me that made me flip out. They were going to have to pop it back into place. And just the thought of that makes me want to pass out. I told them I can't do pain, and I don't think I can do this, but they said you're gonna have to. So I left patient first, and I went to the emergency. Oh well, actually first, before I went to the emergency room, I called my boss and I said I'm gonna have to call off because I have to go to the emergency room and I don't know how long it's gonna be. So I ended up going to the emergency room, and I was there for 5 hours. The way they did the emergency room over at Lehigh Valley Hospital, I have to say the x-rays, it was less painful because when I was at patient first, they had to get some kind of, I think it was like, I don't know what you call it, some string to tie my fingers back to get my pinky as straight as possible, but I screamed during that because it hurt so bad. So Lehigh Valley Hospital, they were a lot better at doing my x-ray. And they told me, they said, there's no fracture and it's just dislocated. So it's not going to be as bad as we once thought it would be, but they were going to have to put it back into place. So I spent 5 hours in the emergency room. Most of it was crying, saying, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. So what they did, first of all, they gave me Motrin. That was the number one thing they did. And then they gave me some other kind of painkillers. I think it was ibuprofen. And they said 20 minutes later, once that kicks in, we're going to come back and try this all over again. So when they came in, I said, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I was crying hysterically. I think to the point I was scaring them. But I feel really bad about that too. So they said that they could do an injection, but it was going to be a needle, and it was going to be in like 2 areas of my pinky. And I said, I don't think I can do that because my pinky was just in so much pain. I can't tell you how miserable I was. So what they did was they had to put me in the bed later, and they had to get some kind of, I forgot what it was, some kind of like tube thing of medicine, and they shot that up my nose, and it smelled so bad. Here's the funny part. I was in bed afterwards, and they had to put my finger back in place, and I was terrified, but they said they had to do it. So it's funny, at one point the medicine came down from my nose and it went into my mouth, and he said, oh God, I can take the medicine. And she goes, oh, that's fine, that's perfectly normal. I said, no, it tastes really bad. So, but yeah, once we got serious, I said, okay, we're just gonna have to do it because I have to go back to work. So what I did, I was laying in the bed, and I put my face into my shirt, and I had my hand out for them to do it. Oh, they had to pop it back into place, and it hurt so bad. But once they did it, I felt this thing of relief because my finger was just so numb, and I was miserable. And I'm sorry this video is so long, but yeah, okay. The reason I'm making this video is because I don't know if somebody can help me, but has anyone ever dislocated their finger? Because I'm going to a hand specialist on Friday, and I'm kind of just wondering, like, what do I expect? From when I looked this up, I could be wearing this for 3 to 6 weeks, and I don't want to. It's so itchy, and my fingers are just numb. It's just, I want to be able to move it again. But I was wondering, has anyone ever dislocated a pinky finger? And if you have, what did they do at the hand specialist? Because I don't know if they're going to unwrap this thing and look at my pinky and try to move it to see how it is, because I'm a little afraid of that. But yeah. I mean, I hope everyone's having a great day and don't do what I did. So yeah, this is my friend the claw. Hoping to get rid of the claw soon. But yeah, hope everyone has a great day. You know what's funny though? In all seriousness, I never knew how hard it is to go about my daily routines with one hand, because I tried taking a shower and it was awful. I got like 30% of shampoo on my hair, hopefully, and the rest was like in the shower because I couldn't get this wet and I can't use my hand. So yeah, hope everyone has a great day. Better than me.